Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Self-Care Sunday. I'm Elisa Maria. This is Elisa Marie Designs. Welcome if you are back. Thank you. And welcome if you are new. I'm glad you're here. I have what I told you I was going to do is get this kit because when I was using this kit, I said to you guys, I'm going to link this for you because I had so much fun with it. What is she talking about? Hold on. I was doing my Rebecca series where I read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I diamond paint Quiet Snow. And in the story, Rebecca, if you know the story, the Manderley and the handwriting of Rebecca are like two more characters in the story. And I was watching du Maurier's life. We'll get into that when I get back to the story. But they were two things that Alfred Hitchcock, who did the movie, really utilized was the signature. Okay, so when the signature came up in the book, it was that Rebecca had signed her name in this slopey R, and there were like ink splatters. So I have a collection of glass pens. I have a collection of fountain pens that I love, and I do write with these. I actually took one of my books out that my darling husband John bought for me. He signed the front for my birthday, and I have like so many sketches and things that I've done in here with my glass pens, with my glass pen and ink. And a lot of times when I am, what did I do here? A lot of times when I am thinking about something, you know, I go from writing and then all of a sudden I find that I'm doodling and I'm scribbling and I'm doing, you know, it's a way for me to unwind my brain. This must have been somewhere that we went and I put that in there. Different sketches that I've done, and yeah, I'm trying to see anywhere that I was actually writing with my ink pen. It's probably in another journal and I pulled out the wrong journal. But you get the idea. I like to sketch and unfree my mind with that. So, unfree? Did I just say unfree my mind? It's this. Oh, that's the cover. So I know that there's probably a couple more pages here. But what I do also when I get done with a journal, I have something here. It's called The End. And I write to the book. I thank it for being here for me. So, but I think that there's a few pages in here. I must have really liked these recipes from the Lobster House. I think that there's a few more pages in here that I could... Oh, here's Johnny actually writing on the book that he was giving to me. And here's my little baby, Honor. They're in here. My little baby Honor with his baby Boo. I'm sure there's a few extra pages in here that I skipped around somewhere that I could put... doodle around. Anyway, okay, so that's done. Like I said, I must have really liked this Lobster House recipe. I got a few of them in there. Okay, so when I was looking this kit up to, you know, where I got it from, which was Amazon, it was $20. However, they had a new one, and I'm going to open it up. This is the sort of activity that I started Awaken with Elisa. That is another YouTube channel of mine that is just kind of dying because there's only so much that we can do in a day, right? So it's the same company. Oh, how cute. Did they put a little tea bag in there? Who's hims? And okay, so the jars are smaller, which is fine by me. But I wanted to test these colors, and it had 3 pens in here. I think you could have got like a blue or a pink. So I can tell, oh wow, there's a really nice, I like using different nibs and testing them out. That's a wider nib. So pretty. And I just love, I know what I love? almost as mesmerizing is the scratchiness on the paper that you get when you're writing, dipping the ink. And it will hold ink for a long time once you dip it. If you just allow the ink to run down the grooves and then you turn it back over, you will be able to write for a long time. It's just so interesting. And then sometimes when I'm writing, I get stuck. These are very nice. They're sturdy glass too. Oh boy, I don't want to come off and I don't want to break the tip. That would not be good. Okay, let me see here. Do I have my little scissors hanging out downstairs? Oh, there we go. So this is a nice fine tip on there. Sometimes when I'm writing and I'm thinking about something and I get stuck, before you know it, I'm just like, oh, let me dab and draw and sketch and make circles or whatever it is that I'm making, and put this on. I don't know if I want to put these back on. I know they're protective, but they're on there really tight. Okay, and they're going to be in this box anyway. So I wanted to sample some of these inks, while we sit around and chat. Now, what I do like about the original one, if you wanted to make up your mind, there's a little pen holder here so that when you're writing, you put your pen down. Okay. What I do like about this one, now this kit is almost done. The inks are getting kind of thick, especially on the one that I use a lot, which I believe is this blue, maybe? No, not the blue. It was the burgundy. How about that? No, is it the burgundy? Nope, it's not that one either. Was it this darker green? Yeah. Oh, wow. So this is more like, it was like a brownish. This is what I like about these inks too. You can see that there's like a little gold in there. And so they give off different colors. This is like a camel color, like a brownish, but a greenish. That's why the camel is on there. I do like, oh boy, oh, I don't think the plunger is on this one, so we have a little bit of that going on. I'll be back in a second. I'm going to go wash this off anyway because I want to fill some water in here. So I do like that there's like a little water funnel in here. Then again, I also have my own things that I use. I'll show you. This is very sweet. Maybe I'll just use this as a secondary clear water. Let me go get the ink off of me. Fun, fun. But I love inky hands, so it doesn't bother me. Okay, I'm back. I got my water, and I thought, oh, it would be so nice if I made this tea. Well, it's not tea. I think, I'm already with the inky hands again because I touched this. They put some gloves in here. A little late. I think that's so funny that they put gloves in there. I'm going to put this off to the side. I don't want to get this on my, anything that I have laying around, on my little white stool of all things. And I got my Huggies. Let's take one of these out. Oh, wow. What happened to that jar? I think the rubber stopper is not in there. So we're going to be opening with this. What do I use for water? I stole this from my mother's bathroom. I use this when I do watercolor. And I just think it's so cute. You can get something like that in the dollar store. And I have my secondary one here. Let's put this here. Let's take a look at these colors. We will be diamond painting. Did I say that? We will be reading from the Book of Awakening. I have my dose here. And this is a sketchbook also that I picked up from the dollar store. It's really nice. It's got a nice hardcover on it. I usually grab this when I'm going to go do some colored pencil work. But I wonder if it would absorb the ink. I think it would. Here, just in case I don't have room in my book to get that going. I should really put this down, huh? So you could see they're like little Aurora Borealis inks is what they're like. Oh, no stopper on these. So, oh yeah, there is. So this was $20, and I figured for $20 to get 3 pens and 6 inks. How nice. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let's put it on top of here. This way, if any ink falls, we have it. It's so interesting how you can make such a fun design just from the topper. Like, look at that little ink splatter there. Beautiful purple. What I do is I wet my pen. I dip it in the water. Let's get you in here. Clean it off. I don't know if there's anything on there. Then I give it a dip, and it will crawl up the pen. There is so much ink on here right now for a thin line. You can write forever. You can write forever with the amount of ink that is in here. Beautiful color. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the way it's being absorbed into the paper. So I'm not going to use this paper. Let's get you out of the way. You're the old kid. Let me just see here. This is my... oh no, this is a Midori that John got me. I'm thinking it's my other craft book. I do at times do go back and I, watercolor on my books and stuff. I was kind of like, what I was working on here. Let's just see how this looks with the, and it is that scratchiness that I love. A thinner nib, of course. Just turning it a little bit. I do like the way the ink, so that's a big thing. It's not just the ink, it's also the paper. All right, so I like the paper more here. This is just pulling the ink, and I could see where the ink is a lot more finer here. Let me just get that cleaned off. The ink is more finer here. It's laying on the paper. It's absorbing slowly, which is what I like. Whereas with the other, with this one here, it's just being, it's just immediately pulling it out. Oh, not a good example here with this paper. So clean that off. We have purple. Gorgeous red. I should have shook that. Oh, I'm glad that you stayed inside the cap. It's just absorbing that right into the paper. Whereas with this, it's not. It's kind of laying a little bit. Let me see what this pen tip is like. So different. Oh, this is a wider one. So wide. Let's just use it for writing. You could see how the ink is laying on top, but not moving. It's the paper. It's the paper. It's not being absorbed in. Whereas if I were to use this sketchbook that I got at the dollar store, it's already going right down in there. The stopper out. Ah! Let's just dabble in there a little bit. A little fingertip. So Marie Antoinette. Oh, this one got me good. This one got me good. Look at that. I love it though. So now let's try this color. Just it'll work its way up. Oh, this is going to be my jam, this color right here. Oh, look at the gold in there. Oh, I like this one. Only thing is, it is really absorbing my ink up. Oh gosh, another blue. Here we go. Be brave. Oh gosh. Take the fat one. Like a navy. Navy. Look at my hands. This just looks like a highlighter of sorts. Let's see how that dries down. One more and then we're done. And then we're going to get to some time in painting. Oh, I could see where it's actually... Oh, it is drying with some gorgeous gold in there. Are you the camel? Oh, you're the black. You're fascinating. I will say that this was a warm-up for me. I'm just, not making any sense here with what I'm doing. If you could see how it's drying with those gold flecks in there. You see that gold in there? Gold and the green. Oh, I wonder if they all have that gold. I don't see it in the purple. Very slightly. We'll have to make some prettier pictures of this ink. But there you have it. This is, a way to get involved with, for 20 bucks, 6 inks. Just wear your gloves. Don't do like me. I thought it was a tea bag that they were sending me. I'm cleaning off my pens. And, just experiment a little bit. And I think it's, let me see, is it drying with that? Oh yeah, there's some red. You could see in the red, there's some gold flecks in there. This is really laying on the paper. A lot of artists like that. They like the ink to dry like that. It's not moving. I'm holding the book straight up. It's not moving. I would say this kit with the right paper, when I am, just writing and maybe, I get stuck somewhere in my thoughts and then I start doodling around. I really wasn't taking any of my sketching seriously. I was just, just doodling around. I do like how it dried on this paper, though I don't like that it absorbs so much ink. I'm going to put the caps back on the bottle and clean them up. Keep it upright in here, because when I have time, when I'm not filming, I will be playing with this. I'm trying to encourage myself to keep these things out, and that's just it. If we have a book out and we have the ink out, and we have somewhere that we keep our water, then you're more apt to come down and sit and doodle something, write, color, whatever it is that you want to start practicing. Because I had so much fun when I was doing Rebecca, and I was doing just like some of my, I don't even know what I was doing. Oh, I was practicing. I thought it was fun that I was reading the book and reading about how Rebecca's signature is so much a part of the book. And the way that the unnamed narrator describes the slopey R and like the blot of ink that kind of dripped off the pen, and then she signed her name. And I thought, oh gosh, I haven't had my glass pen out in so long. Let me do that, and I'll do a little a little side thing where I'm showing you my inks and my pens and writing the word Rebecca over and over. It was a lot of fun, but it's these meditative arts that attract me, that get me, because I really just lost track of time when I looked up to see, like, where am I at on this video, and I'm like, 45 minutes went by. Oh wow. Okay, time to close the video out. But it just is another way to practice your hand. We don't write enough anymore. We don't. Everything is like this, with our thumbs. Just to practice your hand. I was getting so good with writing. And one of these books I have in my closet are journals, and in these journals are I might come across a word that I really like, and so I will do it in my hand and then go back and decorate it in some way. And I would then write the meaning out in the bottom. I have to find where one of those books are. I need to get in this room. That's what's going on. I need to get into this room and get into my journals that I have, and look for these books and start writing again. We don't write enough. We don't use our hands enough to, it's another form of creativity. I'm so glad that there's an interest now, after we took handwriting and penmanship away from children in school, that there's so many channels on YouTube about handwriting and practicing your handwriting. And the books that I grew up with, where we were doing penmanship when I was in school, are now in the dollar store again. Practice your penmanship, the broad lines with the little dotted lines in the middle, so you knew where to start and stop in your handwriting. And I almost bought one just to practice my own handwriting. Why not? I mean, I look at my handwriting now. It's very and I think your handwriting also tells a story. I think that it could be a barometer to your mood or where you're at. And even having a sketchbook and looking at, John gave me this in August and it ended in February. And I think just looking at where you are, there's notes in here from me and him. I think just looking at where you are, what colors you're using, it tells you a lot about what was going on at this time, what your handwriting looks like. Is it relaxed? Is it, are you sketching on the outside of it? If you keep your journal, are you sketching on the outside of it? Are you coloring in the lines? Is your handwriting fast and scratchy where you can't read it? It looks like a doctor's note. I think that says so much. Well, it does. It says so much about where you are and how you're feeling. And then so many of my art books that I went back and looked at that were maybe during a time of transition for me, I noticed that my books go from being very colorful. There are colors that I gravitate to all the time. Yellows and browns, or browns and blues. I go to, that's oh, I'm feeling good kind of colors. Deeper reds and teals and golds, oh yeah, I'm really happy. I know I can I have a color coded system for what my moods are. And in one book where where I was transitioning into moving into New York full time, I was doing it in baby steps, still coming back to Philly. And then it was this is getting to be ridiculous. I have to make a choice. And I chose to go out to New York. But my colors in my book went from being very bright oranges and burnt reds and yellows and golds to eventually just down to black and white. And I'm well, of course, there's where the choice was being made. It's black and white, it's a way for me to read myself. And so I tell you this, not to tell you about me, but to maybe it's ringing some bells in your head where you're saying, yeah, that sounds like maybe something I could do, or it's something I am doing. or I want to try that. I am with my members. We just got done doing the Raven event. It was every Wednesday in October, and we kept a journal, and really I just gave them writing prompts after whatever the discussion was for that week. But I really wanted to also encourage them to use the colors in their diamond painting, but also your diamond painting is a wealth of information. If you're worried about, oh, I don't really know when I sit down and I don't know what colors to use, or I pick colors up and they look kind of muddy. You have a palette right in front of you with your diamond painting. You could take those exact colors and start coloring or painting or doing what I'm doing, playing with inks. And it's just, this like all came together on Self-Care Sunday. This is nothing that I have planned. Those of you that know me know I don't really plan or sketch or like have like, oh, this is what I'm going to be talking about today. It was a mess, but it was a lot of fun. And I am looking at my gold coming through. Like, look at that gold coming through in there. Just coming through. I mean, this is like, you know, not really, it's not high art, but when you're doing anything stream of conscious, it's not high art. I didn't plan anything, so I'm not like, I could be more relaxed. This is what this is telling me. You could have been more relaxed in showing this demo here. You could have been, you know, a little bit more. And I have to say that I'm looking at this one little speck right here. Do you see it? It's almost like the gold is lifted off of it. It's the way that it dried. It didn't dry to the page. You see in that one little spot right there? These are like the things that fascinate my brain. And they do retain themselves in your head. They do. And that's the whole thing with the artist way, and why you go out on an artist date and you take this time to be with yourself and to just absorb whatever it is that's around you, whether it's a walk and you take out your phone and you start maybe taking pictures of things that are like your eye catches. I wish that I didn't have a lock on my phone, but we have to have locked phones now. God forbid they get stolen or you lose them. There were so many moments that I'm like, oh my gosh, where's my phone? By the time I get it open, the moment is gone. And so not only did I miss the moment, but I missed the photograph too of getting it. But somewhere in there, it's what Julia Cameron calls filling the well. When we go out and we're just with ourselves and we're not with anyone else, we are able to spend this time with ourselves and not worry about, oh, I'm with someone else and they're talking about something, but I'm thinking about something, and are they having a good time? And, you know, like yourself is not selfish in the sense that we know the word to be selfish. I've said this plenty of times. Selfishness is a virtue, and it's putting yourself on the list. And how that is selfish, I don't understand, because if you're not feeling that well, who is? Who's filling it for you? And especially with women, this is like the battle cry that I hear all the time with women, is that, you know, we're running and we're doing and we're the caretakers and we're the nurturers, but we don't put ourselves on the list. You've got to put yourself on the list. I'm sitting here now for 30 minutes. I've put myself on the list. I've already won. Even though I'm doing a video for you, I've already won at doing something for myself. Inky hands and all. So one of my members yesterday was reading Book of Awakening, and she sent me the snapshot to yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to read it. And this is another way that I, you know, am creative. I decorate my books. I write in the margins. I get highlighters and sticky notes and stuff. So there's all different ways of being creative. These are like little things that I wanted to tell you guys. And let me see. She sent it to me and she said this reading. So I thought, am I going to read November the 9th or am I going to read November the 8th? Because this meant so much to her that she sent it to me. And I think what we're going to do. Oh, It's a short one. Let's read it. It is from November the 8th. And it is called We Are All Made Delicate. We are all made delicate or we perish. Isn't this the cloth our griefs sew? The hard things break, the soft things bend. The stubborn ones batter themselves against all that is immovable. The flexible adapt to what is before them. Of course, we are all hard and soft, stubborn and flexible, and so we all break until we learn to bend and are battered until we accept what is before us. This brings to mind the Sumerian tale of Gilgamesh, the stubborn heart king who sought to ask the immortal one the secret of life. He was told that there would be stones on his path to guide him, but in his urgency and pride, Gilgamesh was annoyed to find his path blocked, and so smashed the very stones that would help him. In his blindness of heart, he broke everything he needed to discover his way. With the same confusion, we too break what we need, push away those we love, and isolate ourselves when we need to be held most. There have been many times in my life when I have been too proud to ask for help or too afraid to ask to be held, and in the frenzy of my own isolation, like Gilgamesh, I have smashed the window I was trying to open, have split the bench I was trying to hammer, and have made matters worse by bruising the one I meant to be tender with. The live bough bends, the dead twig snaps. We are humbled to soften from our griefs, or else, in brittle time, become the next thing grieved. The invitation to meditate on a situation you are now facing in which you are being hard, stubborn, and resistant. Look at your stubbornness. What are you preserving by being hard? What might you break if you continue being resistant? Now look beneath the stubbornness. What do you fear will happen if you bend to the situation? What might be gained by softening? And that is the invitation this morning. And I so understand what Mark Nepo is talking about here. It's so strange that I had this dream. I don't know, maybe this is why you sent this to me, Tracy. I had a dream, and I don't dream. I really don't. I haven't really dreamt in a long time. I had a dream that of my aunt, and she has passed on, and she must have been around 40, but I was this age. And I think I was this age because all the wisdom of what I didn't understand when she was 40 and I was younger. And I was asking her a question, and I think from what I know, and this is in all families, that there's always relatives that are not speaking to one another, and this, stubbornness of, I don't know how it goes. I really don't know how it goes. I think I need to diamond paint. I think I need to diamond paint or take my inks back out and do something while I'm having this talk with you. So I have a diamond painting out. So this is one of the Louise Goalby diamond paintings that came in that 12-pack kit. And I've been doing these one at a time because I've lost my sticker sheets. Not only for this kit, but for the other kit that I have. And a few of them I offered to my members that took the Raven event. And you know what? I can't find the sticker sheet. I'm driving myself loco trying to find the sticker sheet, and you know what's going to happen, right? I'm going to end up sending those out with a copy of the sticker sheet, and then they're going to come dancing before me once I send them out. Anyway, I love these kits. I'm trying not to get ink on me. I love these kits, so I'm just doing these like one color at a time. It's been a while since I've had my rain pen out, and this is another just form of relaxation for me, just like the doodling of the pen and playing with my inks, the popping of the putty, and the sound of the rain pen, even though I didn't put a multi-placer on the end. So I don't know how this happens in families. Like, we all grow up under the same roof, sometimes same parents, maybe not. I don't know. And I just don't know how this happens. Like, you grow up together, and then, you grow up, and I don't know. I don't know if it's the fact that we go in search of our own lives, that we forget the people that were with us during our formative years and like really know us the best, I think. And it's just like, dig your heels in and be stubborn. And I had this dream about my aunt, and I knew that there was a family situation there, and I had asked her about it, and her answer was no. It was still no. And it had to do with, seeing a family member, and the answer was still no. And I was pretty scared to ask her, because I guess as a kid, I just like kind of minded my own business, but now I'm older and wiser. And I remember thinking, oh, they just don't realize how little time there is left. And I don't know. I started to cry, like uncontrollably. Like, there's so little time left, and every day is less and less time that we're not together, we're not speaking. The hell is the problem? You don't have to live with these people, and I don't know. Sometimes I do think, though, there are people that are out of our lives, and it's a good thing, and it still bothers us, though. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. But I do know that there's nothing to be gained from being stubborn. There's so many. I'm sure you all have your own situation, or someone where they never rectified a wrong. They passed away, or the person that they were fighting with passed away. Even with my aunt, my dad, who was her brother, they didn't speak. And then when she passed away, it was all he could talk about. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's all he could talk about. He had her picture, right next to his chair, his sister, I'm like, oh my God, all these years gone, wasted. And I don't know, would it have been a good thing if they would have repaired their relationship? Would it not have been a good thing? I don't know. But thankfully, my cousin, when Facebook started, I got on Facebook because I had people in New York. I was living in New York, and I was building. What was I building? Was it the cafe? Yeah, it was the cafe. And I was like once a week sitting down at my computer and sending emails to everyone with pictures and trying to keep up. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get on this Facebook thing. And hey, if you guys want to know what's going on, contact me here. You could see pictures of the cafe. And my cousins found me. And, we never really knew what happened as kids, but we put it all behind us. And, I have all these memories now with my cousins, and they've been here for major events in my life that, it just, I think this generation, it means so much to us that we are together. And that we, share these moments. It's just been great. It's been great having my family around me again, because I remember them as kids. And then all of a sudden, my dad and my aunt had this argument, and that was it. It was it. It was like, you're never going to, you're never going to see your cousins again. I mean, I was young, but I used to spend like every Saturday with my cousins. And now it was like, well, that's over with. Forget it. You're not going to see them anymore. Yep. Crazy times, right? How many of us have the photographs at home with the people missing out of them? Or is that just an Italian thing? Where they cut people out of the picture? Oh my God. And some things I guess we can laugh at, but I feel so, I don't know. And then when I talk to people, they're like, oh, well, we were just born in the same family. That's it. My husband is like that. He's like, that's a label, assigned to the person. It doesn't mean anything. They're still an individual, and I respect the individual. I don't respect them because they wear a label. My husband has his principles, and he sticks by them. And I don't treat my son like this either. I don't say to him, I'm your mother. I'm your mother. You know what I mean? Because I respect him as an individual, and I want him to do the same, respect me as an individual. I mean, there were some things too. I mean, it's a rocky ride, is what I'm trying to say here. I'm not saying that I just disrespect people for no reason. I'm saying sometimes people just behave out of hand because they wear this label and they think, well, I'm this or that, and you need to respect me. No, I don't. And I don't need to share my life with you, and I don't need to, talk about things that I don't want to talk about, not when you're not respecting me. So I've been in those situations too with family members where don't ask me to respect your train of thought when you are not, respecting me and what the label is that I wear in this family. So yeah, I think it comes down to, having these talks. What do you got to lose by extending the olive branch and being like, hey, you and I need to sit down and talk about this stuff. Time's drifting, and this is what you mean to me, and I'm dancing around my own situation right now because it's difficult. It's difficult, especially when other people are involved. It could be a sibling, and the sibling's married, and then their priority, of course, is their husband or wife. Of course it is. Nobody comes before me where John is concerned. No one. And I'm the same way. No one comes before my husband. But if my husband was being unreasonable, if he didn't have a good enough reason to say, I don't wish to have a relationship with this member in your family, he would have to have a good enough reason for me, because then we would have to talk it out. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? Isn't it hard? Isn't it hard? I mean, this thing called life, it's so hard sometimes. It's just so, oh God, And I do believe that everything comes back to fear. It just comes back to, these people that have a problem with you or in their life. They're looking at you. They're not really understanding your life. I was never one to really, talk about my life and things that were going on, which made my whole divorce that much of a shock to people. And I did have people come to me and say, well, why didn't you ever say anything? I'm like, oh, well, because, a marriage is private. That's one of the reasons. You don't want to burden. People really don't want to hear your problems. They really don't. That's the other part of it. So I don't know. And let me know in the comments what you got out of this reading. I mean, because there are areas in my life where I don't want to say that I'm being stubborn. I think I'm not stubborn. I'm not soft. I am in the acceptance stage of like, this is where things are and like, whatever. Anyway, so this was an interesting read about being stubborn or being flexible or, you know, just accepting the way things are. And sometimes that's just the way it is. You just accept the way things are. There's no bending or breaking. It's just, this is what it is. And is there a lesson? I think we've come through this so many times with Self-Care Sunday. Is there a lesson here? Yeah, you can bend, you can break, you can keep trying. Or you can just accept. And it's really sad. It really is sad. Because again, like my dream, coming back to my dream, I remember, you know, asking my aunt, are you going to do this? And her saying no. And I just start crying and thinking to myself, they don't know that there's so little time. I don't know where I went with all this. This was really basically a stream of consciousness video today. I'm going to have a lot of editing to do between ink and a little bit of diamond painting that I did here. But isn't she the sweetest? These are so sweet. These Louise Goalby canvases. Royalty. And like, it's just, they're so high quality too. The drills, they're so nice to use because you're not dealing with like different sizes or any kind of trash. They're just so relaxing to do. I have so much fun with these canvases. And this is another one, like I could see hanging her up. Yvonne gave me a kit from Dreamer Designs that is a majestic cat. So, you know, I'm going to have like a majestic cat line for sure in my house. Look how cute. Royalty. I'm sure you can get her bigger, but if you get the ArtDot 12 canvas, they're fabulous. Anyway, kids, thank you, Tracy, for that read that you pointed out to me, because I would have just went to November the 9th. And I hope you had fun here this morning, in this hour that you spent with me. If it turns out to be an hour, if I don't just hack it to death, because I don't know half of what I was saying, just stream of consciousness. And sometimes I'm like, maybe not go there. So I will see you later on today. I have chapter 6 of Rebecca dropping. I have 2 e-pens that I'm going to be reviewing. They're from the same company. There was a problem with the first demo that they sent out for me, and I was like, you don't really want me reviewing this, especially if you're having an update on this, so let's just put it on the side, you know. And they were like, oh, okay, will you do that? I'm like, yeah, well, you're already working on the update there. And there were so many problems with the box and the printing. Everything was wrong and pieces were missing inside. They didn't put inside the button. I don't want to do that to a company. So, and ArtDot has asked me to review their e-pen, which I'm already seeing be reviewed. And it's just, it looks fabulous. And it's so adorable. And then I have another one from DP Over. I showed you, I think, in a video. I didn't do an exclusive video for this one diamond painting. And Tracy again said to me, oh, this looks like something that I have from Diamond Art Club. So I think I kind of like put that on hold to kind of look at the Diamond Art Club one and look at this one that DP Over sent me, because that's also licensed artwork. And I think I had a second diamond painting from them, but I think these are ones that I bought. These are not reviews. It was a Raven, and I ended up giving it away. So I won't be reviewing that one, but maybe the person that I gave it to. But oh no, I don't think they have a channel. And do I have anything else to review? I have my month in review that I wanted to do that I never got to because the event for Which ended on the 31st of October. And I mean, I could do a review, but I I just felt like I was so proud of myself because I was getting things done, and I am getting things done. I wanted to give a shout out to Lizette and what she's doing for 2026. And also, did anyone see Katie's 10, trash or stash video? I thought that was fascinating. And not only fascinating because I could see where she has this pull to keep, because we're getting into that area of there's history there. She's been diamond painting for 5.5 years. And so like there's a part of like the evolution of diamond painting that she could say, oh yes, listen, I have one of those diamond paintings. I know. And then there are ones that there was one that she was just like, I can't look at this because there was a misunderstanding, but the artwork is so cute. I wouldn't have felt that way. I would have been like, but you can't say why nobody feels the way that they feel. But she went through this like 10 diamond paintings that I thought it was really interesting to see diamond painting companies that I had not heard of before, see artists that have moved when a diamond painting shop had closed on to other diamond painting shops, and see their artwork evolve. And then there's artwork also that she invested money in because she bought drills for. Yeah, so it's a story. It's a story that I don't think that you should miss, because we all weigh those. Do I just get rid of this and throw it away? And you feel so bad throwing something in the trash, don't you? When you keep thinking, maybe I could do something else with it. And it got my brain thinking, like, what would I do with this? Like, Lizette doesn't throw her drills away. She makes little squares. So she does that. As it commemorates the colors that she used in a certain palette. And I'm thinking, could Katie cut part of the canvas and maybe use part of the canvas as a way of saving that canvas? I certainly did that with my Crafties kit. It was getting to the point that I was just like, it needs to end. And I cut not only the border, I cut like a few lines all the way around. I was like, it needs to stop. It needs to end. I can't take this canvas anymore. And I did it for sentimental reasons. And there are times that I just can't look at it, but I do appreciate the artist and the artwork. Don't miss it. It's a really fun video. Don't miss it. It's a very interesting video, and I really appreciate Katie's transparency. And like, sometimes we just need to hear somebody, like she said, give us permission, because that's what she told me, because I said to her, going back to my Raven workshop that I had with my members, is the energy that you're putting into it, is it equaling the joy that you're getting out of it? If you say like, I'm going to power through this, or I'm going to keep doing this, or I'm not going to go back on my word and do what I said I'm going to do. If it's beyond all that, and it's still like, oh my God, I feel so frustrated to sit down. Like, I'm like this with my Ivan Valakovic. I love his artwork, but Dreamer Designs made the drill field so freaking tight that when I sit down with this, I'm like, I swear to God, I need to have like a bottle of vodka next to me. And I don't drink, to like, okay, I'm going in. Let's see what happens here. And I love the way that it's coming out, but it is just like, this might be the canvas that I save for the very, very last of my stash. And that's going to be years away. Years. So check out Lizette's idea for the project that she's doing for 2026. She's calling it Refresh Your Stash. Sister, I'm busting through my stash. You're going to be dancing on that moonbeam without me. I'm not refreshing any stash. And I love that I'm seeing so many creators come to this realization that we have more than we can do, and it's time to start doing them. That's what I am doing. And I have one more ArtDot canvas by Barbara Mock. Thank you so much for the reviews that you guys give me, and you really enjoy how I do an unboxing. Thank you so much, because I feel like anymore I hear that unboxing is probably the most mundane video that you guys want to watch. So thank you. I really do appreciate that you appreciate the time and effort that I put into those unboxings. I'm going to work on this girl for a little while it's still quiet in here. And I will see you during the week. Don't want to get ink on my face, but I'm loving my inky fingers.